Well, hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Back in the studio. Doot. All righty. How about a little Mike in the Midwest for the awesome patrons? Let's do this. Episode 46. All right, here we go. Well, hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to episode number 46 of Mike in the Midwest, a mini podcast for the amazing patrons of the Be Our Guest podcast. I hope everybody's doing well. It's been a bit. It's been about a week since I've been here behind the mic in the Be Our Guest podcast studios, and glad to be back. I love doing this podcasting thing. It is a dream come true. And I want to thank each and every one of you sincerely. Thank you for allowing me to put out the podcast. You are helping financially, which means so very much. It allows us to keep the show going. So thank you so much for that monthly donation. I sure appreciate it. Put it right back into the show to cover the hosting, the bandwidth, all the stuff that goes along with this. So thank you so very much. And I hope you enjoy these little mini podcasts that we put out every Thursday. Usually it's about growing up in St. Louis or in Missouri, or, stuff we did instead of going to Walt Disney World when I was a kid. Going to Six Flags was a big deal. Playing Little League Baseball. We've had a lot of stories about the malls and my jobs I've had in the past. But today, you're an uber Disney fan, right? You are. So I wanted to give you some hot takes on my trip that I just got back from Walt Disney World just about 12 hours ago. Probably about 18 hours ago. We landed back in St. Louis last night at about 6 o'clock in the evening. So I am just returned, jumping back in to help my guests over here at the Magic for Less. A huge shout out to Kathy and Jeanette, who covered for me while I was down in Florida with the cheerleading group. Platinum Athletics, Ghost Shine, that was the name of the team. But Jeanette and Kathy took care of my guests because the discount came out on Monday. They took care of everybody. It looks great. But I'm catching up, and I'm going to be here in the office for a little bit. But I love doing what I do. I get to podcast, I get to help people plan vacations. What could be better? All right, so let's talk about my trip. Now, this stuff will be coming out next Friday, so a week from tomorrow, because we already have the shows recorded for this Friday, for tomorrow. Ricky and I sat down before I left, and we talked about great spots, great backdrops, especially floral backdrops around Walt Disney World. So you'll hear that tomorrow. But of course, Monday we'll record. Pam, I don't know if she'll be back. Ricky will be here. If not, Scott will be joining us. And we'll be talking about my trip. And also, Ricky got to ride the Velocicoaster at a media event. So we'll talk about that as well. No thanks. I'll pass. But yeah, so you're going to get the hot takes, though. You're going to get the good stuff because it's just me in the studio. Nobody's here to kind of calm me down. So let's talk about the trip that I just got back real quick, because it's a mini podcast. We're not going to make this an hour, I promise you. But let's talk about the trip that I took. So we left out this time last week. We left out Thursday afternoon, and this was a business trip, right? It was for Mallory's cheerleading squad. There's a thing that the cheerleaders work for all year. The season starts in the fall, and the cheerleaders, it's just like any other, and I didn't know any of this stuff, right? Till Mallory started cheering. Not a clue. I was a spy with Paige. I was in there. I coached her in soccer. I coached her in basketball. I coached her in softball. I know those sports. I know zip about cheerleading, but I've learned because Mallory's been doing this now for 3 years. So anyway, the goal of the year, like the Super Bowl for cheerleading, is what's called the summit. It's like a mountain. You get to the summit, you got to get to the top. Okay, so all year you go to these competitions around the country. We're located in Missouri, so we go to competitions in Indianapolis. We go to some in Wisconsin. We kind of stay in the states here in the middle of the country. What happens is you go to these competitions over the weekends, and if you win one of these competitions, you get what's called a bid to the summit. And the greatest part about the summit, I found this out a couple of years ago when she started doing this, the Summit Cheerleading Championships are at Walt Disney World. I was like, you better make Summit. That 2019, I was like, we got to make this thing. We get to go to Walt Disney World. Here's the other part about this. If you win and you're what's called the grand champion, which is like not just you win your division, but you had the highest score of the entire event, you get what's called a paid bid. And that means that your hotel, your tickets, all that is paid for the competitors, and in the hotel room for the family. So that's a great, great thing. Now, In 2019, because there was no summit last year, obviously, COVID. In 2019, her team got a paid bid to Walt Disney World, but we declined it. We didn't take the paid bid because we stayed off site. Go back and listen to the shows. If you're a super fan, you're here on Patreon, you know that I talked about the Bee. We stayed at a Disney Springs hotel. It's a big white one. It's called the Bee Resort and Spa. Blech. I like being on site. Give me all-star beans. Give me an all-star over the Bee anytime. So this time, we did not get a paid bid. We were not as good this year, apparently, but we did get a bid to the summit early in the season. So we got to compete at the summit. We had to pay our way, which was fine. And so what was happening is, with these gyms that put this together, real quick, just behind the scenes, and I'll get into all the other stuff. They go back and forth. Okay, we could stay at Coronado. We could stay at Music. We could stay at Pop Century, or we have these offsite hotels in Disney Springs we can use. So they're going back and forth, and I saw the rates at Coronado. They were a steal. They were like 140 a night. Coronado now. So I'm thinking, travel agent, right? Who doesn't take this deal at Coronado? 140 a night. We paid like 150 a night for where we ended up staying at the Hilton. So we stayed anyway. The gym picked the Hilton, which it was not the good Hilton. There's two Hiltons in Disney Springs. There's the big white one. It's a big tower. It's tall, and it's kind of not on Hotel Plaza Boulevard. It's right off of it. It's across from the marketplace. That's the nice one because it's got the lazy river and stuff as its pool. We stayed in the Hilton that has a great location. Great location. It is diagonally across from the marketplace, Disney Springs opening, right next to the Partners Federal Credit Union. Great location, but the hotel was straight out of the 70s. It was gross. It was pretty bad. It had a nice little exercise room. I had a good treadmill to run on. The pools, they had an adult pool and a kids pool, kind of just big rectangles. The room was not very nice. I mean, I got to admit, our outlet in our bathroom was falling out of the wall. The bathroom door stuck. So when you went into the bathroom, like it was swollen. So when you went into the bathroom, you had to like, and like you were scared you're going to be trapped in the bath. It was just not a great hotel. Also, let me just say, I don't know how you feel about this. I'm vaccinated. And I'm from St. Louis, where there's Missouri. We don't have a mask mandate or anything. So I'm kind of, loose with it. If a business asks me to wear a mask, I'll wear a mask. That's their prerogative. And if I go in their store, I got to follow their rules. I put on a mask. There weren't many masks to be found until you hit Disney Springs security, the temperature check. That's when everybody masked up. So you were down there. It was almost like 2019 again, not very much physical distancing, any of that. So my wife and I are vaccinated. We're good, so it wasn't a big deal to us. But I mean, if you're one of those people that wants a 6-foot bubble and you want people to wear masks, you do not want to stay at a Disney Springs hotel right now. Okay. So that was that. As far as the cheerleading, we did pretty good. We made it to the finals. We competed on Saturday. The teams that they eliminated about half the teams on Saturday. Some teams get to go to the finals. We did. We came in 11th place in the country. The girls were kind of sad at first, but hey, they came in 11th in the entire country for their division. Not bad. So I'm proud of the cheerleaders. They did good. Here's the thing. A lot of people are saying, oh, I saw your pictures at Wide World of Sports. It gives me hopes for races. Now, you're right. There were a lot of people at Wide World of Sports. I was kind of surprised. I mean, it was packed. It looked like the expo. There were so many people because they had 3 venues going at the same time. They had the arena, which is that yellow big performance center kind of out by the parking lot. And they ran in the Jostens and the Visa. Both, they used to be called the Milk House and the Jostens. Both rooms up there had competitions going on all at the same time. Here's the thing, though. I actually spoke to somebody from Run Disney kind of in an unofficial capacity. And they were asking me about what I thought about a Run Disney weekend. And here's the deal. As excited as I am for Run Disney to come back, this is not the time. Here's why. They put on a competition there with thousands of cheerleaders and families at Wide World of Sports. Successfully, they ran this competition. It's still going on. The best teams in the world compete this coming weekend. It's called the Worlds. And so they were checking in as we were checking out. You also have dance going on. It's crazy how big this is. Anyway, they did run a successful competition for thousands and thousands of athletes. And these girls and guys are athletes. Let me just tell you, they can do things that are incredible. However, here's how it worked for us. If you were a family of a team, so for example, our team was called Platinum Athletics Shine. if you were with Platinum Athletics Shine, which is our little cheer squad of 25 girls, you had to line up about an hour before the competition. You had 200 people could watch. That was it. You had to stand on a dot. They loaded you in. You watched your team compete. You cheered them on out in the crowd, and then they shuffled you out. We did not get to see any other teams compete. We got to watch for our competition was 2 minutes, 40 seconds, our song that they cheer to. So we got to see 2 minutes and 40 seconds of cheer twice. We got to see it on Saturday. We got to see it on Sunday. Did not get to see any other cheerleading going on this entire weekend. Now in 2019, you were free to sit in the arena for the entire day if you wanted, for the whole weekend. And you could see cheerleading squads from all over the country, all over the world competing. The teams you were competing against, you watched them. You saw how they did. You saw how you stacked up. You got to be in the building 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and they shuffled you out. So what I talked with the Run Disney person about, and this is just this is my thoughts. Do not hold a Run Disney weekend until there's no mask mandates. If you have to wear a mask on the bus or if you have to wear a mask in the corrals, do not hold a Run Disney weekend. That is not what we're there for. And also if there's got to be distancing, it's not the same feel. We want Run Disney to be back just like it is. We want to have those, we want to be able to not have to be distant in a race. We want to be able to be in there and have the feel of everybody together, the energy, because the thing is, while we had a successful competition at Wide World of Sports, it was a downer because we only got to see our team. It was very restrictive. So what I told the Run Disney representative was, let's not do this until we don't have restrictions. Let's get it back to where it was in 2019. Let's do it the right way. Let's don't do it 75% of the way. Let's go all the way. Let's bring the energy back. Let's have the announcers. Let's have the fireworks at the start. Let's have people shoulder to shoulder. Let's do it. Let's get on that course and have a great time, because the girls had a good time and they didn't have to wear masks when they competed, which was great. And we're getting there because the temperature checks are going away at Walt Disney World next week. We're going down to 3 feet here soon in the parks. I guarantee you. And it was informal, but I just say, we got to wait till we get this thing back, because Summit 2019 was so much more fun than Summit 2021, just because we didn't get to watch anybody else. We didn't get to see anybody else. And that was kind of sad. As a competitor, we didn't get to be a part of the magic of it all. Now let's talk about the parks and the stuff we got to do. First of all, the Hilton I told you about, not very great. I would say the B was 10 times better than the Hilton, which I didn't like the B. So I'll just leave it at that. It was not good. But the girls got to cheerlead in the Hilton ballroom. They had a spring floor, so they were happy. They got to do their run-throughs. Now, here's the thing. We didn't have we got there on Thursday, didn't have the girls were not allowed to go to the parks until the competition was over on Sunday. Now, if they would have got eliminated on Saturday, we could have gone to the park Sunday morning. So we did have tickets for Sunday. However, they made finals, and their final competition didn't go on till 8:30 Sunday night. Ouch. That was bad. I was hoping if they competed on Sunday, they would get an 8:30 a.m. slot. We would cheer. We'd have the virtual awards back at the hotel on the big screen TV in the ballroom. You didn't even have award ceremonies live. You had to watch it on a TV back at your team hotel. So that was kind of a drag too. Yeah, they made finals. They competed at 8:30 on Sunday night, which meant, here's the other deal. They had to go back to their hotel. The awards were at 10:30 on Sunday night. So we had no chance at going to the parks on Sunday. Boo. Actually, I snuck into the park. I'll talk about this on next Friday's show, and I'll give it to you in just a second. I went to the park by myself on Friday. I went to the studios. I got a studios theme park reservation somehow 2 days out to go to the studios. And I went by myself. I just told them, you're practicing today. Pam was getting her all ready. I'm out. I'm going to the studios. So I got to go. I got a Rise boarding group 66. I got to do Rise. I did Mickey and Minnie's. I did Rock and Roller Coaster. I ate that. One of our listeners suggested the grilled cheese sandwich. It's a buffalo chicken grilled cheese sandwich at the commissary. That thing was incredible. Oh my gosh, that was so good. I'm going to have that again. So if you're going down soon, get the grilled cheese buffalo chicken sandwich at the commissary for lunch. It was great. I did the new Lightning McQueen show just because one of our listeners on one of our Monday shows talked about it and raved about it. It's cool. It's pretty cool. It's got the car, talks to you. Yeah, I was probably the only 47-year-old dude by himself, but hey, who cares? It was Walt Disney World. It was fun. I got to do something I'd never done before, and that's always my goal. So I did sneak over to the studios and had a good old time on Friday. Now, I will say on Sunday, Pam and I snuck to Epcot for just a few minutes because she had tickets. We weren't supposed to go into the parks. We did. We went to Epcot. We had Mexico for dinner, just the cantina. What did we do? We did Spaceship Earth. We rode Living with the Land. That was about it. Oh, and my wife had never been on the Skyliner. So we went on the Skyliner. She really enjoyed that. Now let's talk about on Sunday, we checked into Coronado. We got out of the Hilton. We checked into Coronado. Pam had to go home on Monday afternoon because she had to get back to teaching. Mallory and I stayed till Wednesday, till yesterday. So we stayed in a tower room at Coronado. I got on a great discount. And let me just tell you, I'd stayed in the tower for Princess Weekend in 2020 last time. And I was curious to see what Pam and Mallory would think of the tower because I love it. I think it's super fancy. They were blown away. Now, I don't know if it was because we came from the Hilton and it was like coming out of 1970s Brady Bunch that was falling apart, but they both kept saying, this is a moderate. Is this part of the hotel deluxe? I'm like, no, the whole hotel is a moderate hotel still. It feels deluxe, doesn't it? They love the elevators. They loved all how it was decorated. They loved, we didn't go to the bar, but they loved Barcelona Bar, all the stained glass down at the bottom. My wife loved the mural that's down in the Barcelona lounge of Walt with Mickey at the bottom. You got to kind of find over in if you're looking out at it's on the left side. If you're looking out over the resort through the big windows, they love the check-in area. They love the room. The showers are amazing in the tower rooms, and they're the same shower that's now in every room at Coronado Springs. Mallory and I swam at the dig site twice while we were there. We did night swimming. That was the best. I will also throw in, because it's just totally random, just thoughts, because I'm doing this real quick. I'll organize it more for the Friday show, but I wanted to get it to you guys immediately. It was smoking hot while we were there. Yesterday when I left, it was a heat index of 95 when we left the Magic Kingdom at noon. Oh, sorry, the heat index was 99. The air temperature was 95. It was smoking. And it was like that the last 3 days we were there, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm just saying, early May and late April, it can still be blazing hot in Florida. It was super, super hot. Now, I will say, Park Hopper is a huge advantage right now. Park Hopper is a huge advantage. I don't want you to spend money you don't have to have, but here's the deal. The Park Hopper is your back door into the park you can't get into with a theme park reservation. For example, Mallory and I had us as the theme park reservations that I initially made were for Sunday, Epcot. Because I figured we're going to have to cheer for a while. We're going to get in late in the day. Epcot's a good late in the day park. We can just go to World Showcase, snack, stuff like that. We had that. So Pam and I ended up going to Epcot on Sunday, like I told you. Monday, I had us also at Epcot because that was the only theme park reservation I could get late in the game because Mallory didn't get her ticket till about 3 weeks prior. It was so late. There weren't a lot of theme park reservations left. So I took what I could get. I was like, I got us Epcot. However, late in the game, we found some Magic Kingdom theme park reservations. So we changed Epcot on Monday to Magic Kingdom so that Pam, my wife, before she went home, could do some rides. Magic Kingdom's got a lot of the rides she likes. So we switched over to Magic Kingdom for Monday. Now, Mallory and I had already, because Pam was going home Monday, Mallory and I stayed for Tuesday and Wednesday. We had Magic Kingdom for Tuesday and Wednesday, so we could ride rides. So we ended up having Magic Kingdom Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And you might think, ooh, that's terrible. It was fine, because here's the deal. On Monday, we went right at park opening, and we did the Magic Kingdom with my wife because she had to be on Magical Express at, I think 1:00. So we stayed till lunchtime. We got so much done at the Magic Kingdom that morning. We were there before the park opened. We were in the park before the park opened. We were waiting in line for Splash Mountain at like 7:50. The park opened at 8. Splash Mountain didn't open at 8. All of a sudden, everything else was opening. Splash Mountain still didn't open. It must have been having technical difficulties. We bailed, went over to Big Thunder, rode that, and then just rolled from there. People Mover, Space Mountain, pirates. We were all over the park. We got so much done before Pam had to leave. And what we did was we rode back with Pam to Coronado to get her stuff together. We had lunch back at Coronado in El Mercado. Then we walked with her to Magical Express, gave her a kiss, sent her off of Magical Express, and she went home. Mallory and I went back to the room. And again, it was smoking hot. We took a nap because we got up super early. We were up way late the night before with the awards ceremony. And then we decided to go swimming after we took our naps at the dig site. Awesome. It was so hot. And we love the pool there. So we went to the pool. And then after that night, we went back to the Magic Kingdom because we wanted to close it down. And we had the best time. If you've ever gone to the Magic Kingdom, for 3 or 4 hours at the end of the day, it was like with no fast passes, we were all over the place. Astro Orbiter. We were People Mover again, Buzz Lightyear. Then we closed the park by doing Splash Mountain. We hopped in Splash Mountain. It was 6 minutes before closing, 75-minute wait. So we were locked in, and we were one of the last ones in the Magic Kingdom after we rode Splash Mountain. Got some great pictures. Man, it was so much fun. When you close the Magic Kingdom, there's just nothing like that. It's like playing with house money. So we had a great time doing that. Okay, so Tuesday, the plan was, again, you got to go to your park, you have your theme park reservation, Magic Kingdom. We didn't get up as early. I got up, I ran, as I did every morning. And so I told Mallory, we got up early on Monday. We were up late Sunday night. You can sleep a little on Tuesday. So anyway, I get up, run, and we decide to go to the Magic Kingdom. We get there a little bit later, but still not too late. Go around, do the rides, have a good time. And the plan was to go back to the hotel after lunch, take a nap, just kind of chill out in the air conditioning for a while. We were going to swim again, just like we did on Monday, and we were going to go to Epcot. Now, this was May the 4th. Okay, so we go back. We're tired. We're wiped out. We take a quick nap. It's super hot. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon when we get up from our naps. And we were going to go swim, and then we're going to go to Epcot because Epcot was open until 10. So while Mallory's still asleep, she was wiped out from the cheering and all the stuff, and we've been up a lot. I call that number to check, and I'm pretty sure that you are not going to be able to hop to the studios on the night of May the 4th because of May the 4th be with you, Galaxy's Edge, all that stuff. I call the number. All parks are open for park hopping. I'm like, interesting. Okay, interesting. Maybe it's not updated. Maybe it is. I hop on My Disney Experience. I'm like, let's check those wait times over at the studios. It's May the 4th. So I look, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, 20 minutes. Rock and Roller Coaster, 20 minutes. Toy Story Mania, 15 minutes. Slinky Dog Dash, 65 minutes. Not too bad, though. Look at Smuggler's Run in Galaxy's Edge on May the 4th, 30 minutes. Like, what is going on? This can't be true. Because I figured, all the people that had theme park reservations for May the 4th would stay at the studios. And then at 2 o'clock, everybody from Epcot, Magic Kingdom, and Animal Kingdom are going to hop to the studios. That's what I thought. Anyway, I told Mallory, we're calling an audible here. So here's the deal. Instead of swimming right after and then going to Epcot and closing Epcot, we're going to skip swimming. We're going to go to the studios now. This was like at 4 o'clock. We're going to ride stuff because it closed at 8. It was only open till 8. We're going to have a good old time at the studios from 4 to 8. We're going to have dinner at the studios. We're going to get back to the hotel after it closes. We're going to swim at night when it's not so hot. The sun's not going to burn us. We're going to have a good time. She's like, okay, that's cool. It's great when you take your kid and your kid gets Disney. She's grown up with me. And now we have an understanding. We go crazy and we just have a good time. We called this audible. I said, I'll be honest, Mallory, I don't know what it's going to be like when we get there. It's May the 4th. I mean, I'm a Star Wars nerd. There's way more Star Wars nerds in the world than me that are more hardcore. I was like, but we're going to see some cool stuff if we get in. I promise you that. So we go over there. Boom. Mickey and Minnie's 20 minutes. Boom. We're in it. It's still super hot. Mallory's like, we need to do One Man's Dream. Tear. Dude, when your 13-year-old daughter says we got to go see One Man's Dream, you have achievement unlocked, right? So we go in, we look at some of the exhibits, we talk about Marceline real quick, because we're from Missouri and I've been there. We watched the movie at the end. She makes fun of me because I cry every time I see the movie at the end of One Man's Dream. But it was like 12 minutes of air conditioning in a seat. It was beautiful. Got recharged. After that, we mobile ordered some. There wasn't much to eat, man. There was no, you couldn't even order stuff from Backlot or ABC because it was already done for the entire day. You could get a Ronto wrap, which I wanted so bad, but Mallory won't eat anything there at Docking Bay 7. But Rosie's had hot dogs. Mallory likes hot dogs. They had a chili dog. I could do that. So we mobile order some Rosie's, grab that. Mallory loves rock and roller coasters. So as soon as I scarfed down this, I mean, like 7-foot long chili dog, it was gigantic. It was ridiculous how big it was. We ride rock and roller coaster. I survived somehow. I don't know how. And then I'm like, Mallory, it's May the 4th. The park's going to close here in about an hour. We have to go to Galaxy's Edge. We got to try to get in. She's like, okay. So we head back there. We go through Toy Story Land. To tell you that I saw a lot of lightsabers and a lot of Jedi robes and a lot of Princess Leia buns is an understatement. So we go in by Buzz, out of Toy Story Land into Galaxy's Edge the back way. And I mean to tell you, these people that were the huge Star Wars fans, they are lining up. And I don't know what they're lining up for, but there's a line. And every person has at least one lightsaber. So a lot of people had two. There were Darth Maul lightsabers. There were Luke green lightsabers. There were blue lightsabers that Luke had. There were purple mace. It was crazy. Men, women, children, everybody. All races, all creeds. It was beautiful. So I'm like, what's going on? So of course I bust out my phone and videotape this line because I'm walking, I'm following this line. I don't know what the line's for because there's not usually a line as you go into Galaxy's Edge from Toy Story Land. So I get in this line and I finally, it hits me. It hits me because I'd seen this on social media a couple years ago that there was this picture that I'd seen a couple years ago of the whole bunch of people in front of the Millennium Falcon with lightsabers. Everybody's holding them up. And I told Mallory, I said, that's what this has to be. It has to be the big group picture of the biggest Star Wars nerds in the world. And I say nerds in a loving fashion because I'm one of you. You must have to have a cool lightsaber. And I said, Mallory, we're like the only two unarmed people in Galaxy's Edge right now because I'm too cheap to buy a lightsaber. I don't have one. We're like one of the only people in here that doesn't have a cool lightsaber. She's like, well, you need to make one. I'm like, yes, I do, but it's still too expensive. Anyway, I mean, this line goes on for a long time. Go to my Instagram. I took a video of it. It was crazy. I mean, crazy. So I told Mallory, it's like the only goal I have for right now, because the park's going to close here in 15 minutes, is we need to get a picture, me and you, in front of the Millennium Falcon for May the 4th. And achievement, right? Awesome. So we did. We got down there. You could take a selfie. There were PhotoPass photographers everywhere taking pictures. And I mean to tell you, there were Jedi robes, Sith robes, Princess Leia outfits, Mandalorians. I mean, it was like if you're a Star Wars fan and you like the people watch, this was nerd central under the Millennium Falcon. It was awesome. I mean, it was awesome. So we got our picture and then we just looked around and watched. I mean, there were like little babies, like dressed up like Han Solo and Lando, like in pictures and like sitting on the ground in front of the Falcon. We saw service dogs that were dressed up like Chewbacca. It was crazy. So May the 4th, yeah, you want to be there. It was pretty sweet. But the thing was, we got in and the park hopper allowed us to do that. So if you're on the fence about a hopper, if you don't have an annual pass, this is a great way to like sneak in a park where you don't need to get a theme park reservation after 2. I'm just saying it saved us. It allowed us to see the studios when we couldn't get in. Yesterday, May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo killed me, broke my heart because they were doing $6 margaritas at Coronado Springs at the Laguna Bar. We had to be on Magical Express at 12:45. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'll fill all the other stuff in from the parks on the show on Friday, but I got to tell you this, we're flying home, right? Our flight is at 4:10 p.m. What time does Magical Express pick us up? 12:45. Wow. That's early. We're complaining, Mallory and I, blah, blah, blah. We don't be at the airport that long. We could be at the parks. We get to Orlando International at like 1:25-ish, a little before 1:30. And we're like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do for all this time? We're going to go to the Disney store. Maybe we'll go down to Chick-fil-A, get a shake. I don't know. We've been eating. We didn't need to. We get there. We go over to Southwest to check our 2 bags so we could go do what we got to do. And the line was all the way to check in your bags now at Southwest was all the way back to the food court with 7 switchbacks before that. It was unbelievable. What had happened? If you've been to Orlando International lately, they're doing construction and they are building everywhere at that airport. It's awesome. Apparently, the night before, somebody hit a cable line, hit the fiber line. And so they had no internet for 6 hours the night before, and it was going up and down the entire time we were trying to check in. So you had hundreds of people trying to check their luggage and get their boarding passes with the internet going in, out, in, out. And those self-service kiosks where you normally type in your confirmation number, you print your little luggage tags, your stickers to put on your bags, they print your boarding groups. None of those worked. You had to see an agent. So, hundreds of people all waiting. It took us 2 hours to get up there and check our luggage, our carry-ons, and we had 4 bags we had to. And then, of course, TSA was backed up because everybody was then hitting TSA at the same time. So it took us about 2 hours and 15 minutes to check our bags and get through TSA. And the airport, I don't know why, but the airport was hot in the inside. And our plane coming home was hot. It was just... It was not a great way to end the trip. It was a great trip. It was anytime I get to go to Walt. You can hear it in my voice. Like, we had so much fun. When you get to go with your kid, it's awesome. When you get to go by yourself, it's awesome. When you get to go with your family, it's awesome. When I go down with all my friends, Scott and his family, Pam, Ricky, everybody I know, it's awesome. But it was, again, I just love going. Like, it will never not be fun for me. The plane ride was hot. The airport was hot. It took forever to check. I don't care. I had a good time. But we're going to get into all the things. But here's the deal. As a patron, if you have any questions, shoot me an email. I'll let you know. Like, somebody was asking about is the Frontierland Shooting Arcade open? Yeah, it's open. I checked. We'll talk about it. But I will say, those lines that they have in the queues, they're more of a suggestion at this point. People were on top of each other. Masks, I saw a lot of noses, but I think a lot of us are vaccinated at this point, so that's not such a big deal anymore. But yeah, I was down in August, and it was like, dude, you did not get within 6 feet of anybody. Like, those lines in the queues were respected. I was there in December. Pretty much nobody got in between those 6-foot lines, and you did not see noses. I was there this time. Kind of a suggestion. So I think we're moving back to normal times. And I will say the crowds, I didn't see any difference in the crowd between 2019 Summit and 2021 Summit. I'll be honest. It was just as crowded. But we got on the attractions pretty good. Some of the bigger attractions, 70, 75 minute waits, shorter attractions, 20, 25, not too bad. Not bad. All right. So if you have any questions, we'll talk about this again on Friday with Ricky and Pam and Scott probably. So, we'll get to that. But before Monday, if you want me to talk about anything on the show, just let me know. It's up to you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys get first dibs on all. All right. So those are my quick thoughts on my trip. If you have anything you need, just ask me and we'll talk about it because I was just there. Dining, attractions, hotels, whatever you need, just let me know. All right. So I'm going to duck out of here and get back to work here in the office and grab some lunch. But until then, thank you so much for being a supporter of the show. I can't thank you enough for that. So stay safe. Stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. All righty. Thanks, everybody.